What up, guys? It's Kyle. Recently I'd posted some videos on like what makes like a high quality like man and or woman. I'm not sure if high quality is a proper term, but at the time I really couldn't think of anything better, and even now, and it seems to be a commonly used phrase. So, in this video, I want to make what makes a high quality dating partner for women, or like how a woman can be a high quality dating partner. Um, I'll probably make one for a man next, but this is the one that I thought of first. So I'm gonna mention things in no particular order, and part of this video is really just for me to record what I'm looking for, so that I can keep track of it, what I'm looking for in a woman. But so I'll start. So I guess number one, and again, it's in no particular order. Number one would be she does not seek excessive validation. I think making a good impression is very important, but when it comes to seeking constant validation, it's just a bit of a turnoff, and I think it can be unproductive, because I think when a woman or anybody in general is seeking constant validation, they end up not actually looking for a high quality partner. They just think in terms of how much validation they can get, which isn't really constructive, because you can get 5,000 followers on Instagram as a woman for being pretty, but that doesn't actually land you a husband unless you're actually looking for a high quality husband and actually dating to try to screen men and find a good one. So I think it can be quite misleading how many women can get caught up in posting sexy pics on Instagram, in which they receive a bunch of likes and attention, but validation just makes you feel good in the moment. You have to actually look for a high quality man and date. So I think seeking excessive validation is really non-constructive, and I think you should mostly be looking for one man's attention. And I think, to add another side note, when a woman looks for validation from men who she would never give attention to at all, I think that this is quite wrong. It's quite like, men are quite vulnerable in that we do tend to fall into attachment to a woman just based off of her looks. It's just kind of our tendency, and it's hard for us to control, no matter which man you are. So trying to receive a man, get a man hooked on you, but then you're never going to give that man attention anyways, because he's not attractive enough for you, or you're not available to date for whatever reason, I think is a little bit wrong, and it's just not very empathetic. I think another thing regarding social media is having a public profile as a woman. It's kind of suspicious why you would have a woman would have her Instagram profile or other profiles on public. Hello, man. Because it almost does signal that she's trying to get attention again. And it is a little bit odd that she would risk being stalked by somebody just so that people can reach her profile publicly, even though she's not even really screening who's following her and who is paying attention to where she's eating, where she's going, what school she goes to. So to not even, as a woman, to not even be screening the people who are following you, leaving your profile public, is a little bit suspicious as a man. When I look at it, I would think, okay, you would think as a woman you'd want to protect yourself, so put your profile on private. Okay, we'll go to the next idea. The next thing I want to mention, I think is really important that a high quality woman does this, and that's that she acts nicer than her looks. A lot of women, who are very attractive, they don't, oftentimes they're not as nice as they could be. And I think it's very rare to meet someone who is attractive in general, who just is very humble and down to earth. So if you act nicer than your personality, actually going out of your way to engage with other people and to compliment other people, even though you've been filled with compliments, like to understand that like it's not just about your attention or people's attention on you. Even if you can get away with being more arrogant and still getting men's attention, it doesn't mean that you should do it. Just because you can do something doesn't mean that you should. So I think a high quality woman, even if she's very attractive, she'll act nice and be kind, even though she doesn't have to get attention. Next related point. So a high quality woman understands that her looks can be even better if she works on her personality and her weak points in life and her character. If she works on her values, trying to understand how to communicate with others, how to make people feel seen and heard, how to control her emotions and to provide for others. I think it's very important, because looks is not the only thing, and even someone who looks very physically attractive can end up not being that attractive if they're not working on their personality. So having depth, working on yourself, is very important. And I think related to working on your personality and character is being what I guess I will call self-corrective. This means basically that, hello man. This means basically that she doesn't wait for other people to correct her behavior to change. Because I've seen, witnessed some relationships, at my old college and just in life, where the woman will just continue to act disrespectful and the man won't correct it, probably because he's scared to lose her. But she'll just continue to get more and more and more and more disrespectful and just doing more and more what she wants to do, even though it's harmful to the relationship. So I believe that was wrong. If you're a higher quality woman, you know where to stop. You know to correct yourself. It's not about just doing what you can do, what you can get away with. You'll know the boundaries. You'll know, okay, I disrespected my boyfriend. I disrespected my husband. I can't keep going further than this. This is the boundary. Obviously, every man will have different boundaries to set in the relationship. But in general, as humans, we kind of know when we've gone too far. So to continue going further just because the man won't correct it, that is, it's not what a high quality woman would do. The next thing I would say that a high quality woman does is she thinks critically, like thinks off her own terms, and isn't necessarily so swayed by her friends. I think that if a woman is often very swayed by her friends' opinions, it can be very dangerous for us as a man, because we don't know how they're going to influence you. And there's nothing wrong with taking advice and looking at it at face value, but if the woman just listens to everything her friends say just because she's a highly relational person, and anything that's said within her strongest relationships must be true, then I think that's very dangerous for us and for the relationship. I think people have to be able to disconnect from their friends' opinions sometimes and to make their own opinion. It is for men too. I think that's even in the early stages of dating, to not just say, oh, I think that man is attractive because 4 of my friends think he's attractive, but that other man over in the corner is not attractive because my friends aren't attracted to him. I think that type of mindset is it's just not critical thinking, not being able to think for yourself. I think it's just not conducive to making intelligent decisions in the long run. Another thing a high quality woman does is that she understands that at some point, loyalty is no longer a feeling. It can be, it's still a feeling, but it becomes a commitment. Once you get married to somebody, or even before you get married, loyalty to your partner, to your relationship, should not be a feeling, it should be a commitment. Like, it comes to a point where you guys have invested so much into each other, for the woman or the man to just think, once you're married, like, oh, I can just get a divorce because I'm more attracted to my coworker or something like that. Like, I don't know, I think that you have to have an objective sense of loyalty, that divorce can really not be an option. And I think our world is getting away from that. And another thing would be that, if you hurt the relationship, if you hurt the other person, then you hurt both of you. You hurt the relationship. So I think to want to get revenge against your partner if they make you feel bad about something is not good either. So I think that trying to do what's constructive is best. Related to that is having a fix-it mindset. If something is broken, you should fix it together. If the relationship is broken with your husband, you guys got to fix it together. I think that that's really what loyalty is about. Not just leaving because something gets hard, but you guys got to fix it, and then that will actually be a reason for your bond to get stronger once you get past it. There's 3 main things that I think any high quality woman or even man as a dating partner should be studying, and those 3 things would be marriage, parenting, and finance. And of course there's probably many others, but to be able to study those things, because marriage is going to be a significant part of your life. If you get married, it's going to be a giant part, and the divorce rate is huge, like in all modern countries and even in developing countries. So it's a really giant task to take on marriage. So to be studying marriage even a little bit, like for me, I like to watch some TED Talks, like what causes divorce. I just try to figure it out a little bit. I try to look at what makes a good marriage, and I'm not reading like many books or anything on it, but I'll try to watch some TED Talks or read a few articles here and there just to kind of keep my mind refreshed. And then finance is going to be huge, and also a lot of men are very financially oriented. We really like to save money, so it can make us trust you a lot more if you're a woman and you study finance and you care about saving money. Then parenting too, we want to know that our children will be raised well, so study parenting. And I like to watch a few TED Talks and maybe learn a bit here and there from different people who have children. So yeah, parenting, marriage, and finance. Another thing is to be able to interact with all people. Like, I don't want to know that my wife is absolutely so disgusted by homeless people that she can't even have a 1-minute conversation with them, or when a homeless man comes up to talk to her, she just walks away and turns away. I think that even in general, I don't want a woman who is afraid or disgusted by people who are in lower positions than her in life. Or even, I appreciate someone who can talk to strangers, someone who is sociable. So yeah, just in my opinion, I think that this is important. If you are disgusted by people, maybe a homeless person who is dirty or something like that, then if you can please set it aside, like, to be able to do that, because I want to do some volunteering or serving people in need. And I think that the high quality woman doesn't just associate with people of upper class, with high income. They can associate with everybody. I think also when it comes to disgust too, is like a woman shouldn't just be able to stay in high luxury hotels. I think a high quality woman can do everything. She can camp, stay in a motel that's maybe lower quality, or a really high class hotel. I know I've witnessed someone's girlfriend in my life who the man really liked camping and road tripping, but she was always just disgusted by it, not being able to take a shower for a day, only wanting to stay in high quality resorts, because we want a woman who is not so superficial, someone who is who can explore and do everything, likes camping or hiking or anything like that. So yeah.